number 3, line up some cash of the 10-step process of purchasing a home. We've been going over weekly the 10-step process of purchasing a home. And again, we're going over step number 3, line up some cash. As a review, let's go over the 10-step process one more time, please. The first step is to start with the credit. Step number 2, set your budget. Step number 3, in which we're going over today, line up some cash. Step number 4, find a realtor. Step number 5, get pre-approved. Step number 6, search for a home. Step number 7, make an offer. Step number 8, go into contract. Step number 9, have a home inspection. And step number 10, close the deal. That's the best part. I mean, everything is done. Everything's been finalized. Now you're ready to celebrate, enjoy your new home, move into it. But before we do all of that, let's go back to step number 3, line up some cash. Again, my name is Earl, Knighten, the expert realtor. I've been licensed now for over 17 years, helping people purchase homes, rent homes, lease homes, sell their homes, invest in homes, as well as building homes on their own land. 2018 Agent of the Year in my office. Also sold over $5 million homes to my clients, and very thorough in this process. And as we go over step number 3, let's get started. Line up some cash. And you may be asking me today, well, why do I need to line up some cash? There's so many programs out there that says no money down, or I can get into a home with no money. Well, let's be real. Is anything that you want, there's a cost for it. So these are just some steps that I use, and I advise people of to line up some cash, whether it's a little bit of cash or a lot of cash, whatever the reason is, you need to put some money aside when you get ready to purchase a home. First thing being a down payment. FHA, which is an FHA loan, they do require you to put 3.5% down on every home that you purchase going to FHA. And that's 3.5% of the sales price. So if you're buying a home for $100,000, you'll be putting $3,500 down for that home. If you're buying a home for $200,000, now you're putting 3% down, which is $6,000 that you're putting down on that home. So it's important to understand that process. The next loan that will allow you to buy a home unless you're paying cash, of course, is a conventional loan. With the conventional loan, it is you have the ability of putting 3% down to 20% down based on, of course, you can always do more based on your credit profile. And we're just talking about minimums today, people. So 3% to 20% down based on your credit profile. And I always have learned and advised people that if you don't want to pay private mortgage insurance, which is PMI, another word for PMI, you will have to put 20% down. And you say, well, what does that do? It just saves you money on your monthly payment. And that can be anywhere from $150 to $350 based on your sales price. So that's a big deal as well. The only loan that does not require down payment is VA. And that's for anyone that's been in the military. You can get a home with 100% down payment. So those are reasons, reason number 1, why you need to line up some cash. Reason number 2 would be for closing costs. And a lot of people say, well, can I get the seller to pay closing costs? That is true. But first, let me tell you what closing costs are made up of. Closing costs are made of title fees, lender fees, as well as prepaids, your homeowner's insurance, and of course your taxes. And you may say, well, I want to get the seller to pay the closing costs. Well, that's fine and dandy. Me as being a licensed realtor, my job is to always get the seller to pay closing costs. But that's not 100% always the case, because you may see a home that's lovely, move-in condition, nothing work is needed. It's painted just the way you want. It has the hardwood floors, the marble, has the arches, all that great stuff inside the home. But guess what? There's other people that like the same exact home as you like. And because of that, that creates what they call competition. That's supply and demand. So what's the first thing to go when there's competition? Closing costs. So if you don't have money put aside to pay for some of those closing costs, or half of those closing costs, or all those closing costs, guess what? You won't get the home, unfortunately, because the next person will say, you know what, I don't need the closing costs. I have money put aside, so I'm going to get this home, and they're going to negotiate a better contract, because all the seller cares about is their bottom line when they're selling a home. The next reason why you need to line up some cash is for home inspections, which is so important. I almost make it mandatory for my buyers that whenever you buy a home, you have to get a home inspection. In that home inspection includes, of course, the home being inspected, your air conditioning units, your hot water heaters, your plumbing system, your roof. Home inspection gives you dates and when those things were created. If there's permits out for it, if there's problems with it, that can save you money in the long run. Because who wants to buy a home and then as soon as you move into it, you have these issues that you didn't know about? So having a home inspection can help save you from some of those issues and also allow you to renegotiate those things with the seller in that contract. Step